Ever since the 2025 League One final, Spokane Velocity has been picturing this day, and the scene is absolutely perfect. Under sunny summer skies, they get another shot at One Knoxville, the team who dealt them heartbreak in the final for the second straight year. There's so much to dig into as we get set for this primetime League One matchup between two of the top 4 teams in the standings. But first, let's wind back the clock. A much more consistent side since that final. 10 of the guys who started that game have returned to the team this year, and that consistency has paid off with a very strong home record. It's a good thing they've won those 6 games at home as well, because 20 of their 20 points in league play, 18 have been a result of those 6 home wins, just 2 points from their matches on the road. Sean Lewis in net, the man who started for One Knoxville in the final last year, will be appearing in just his 5th match in league play this year. He was set to join Tormenta after being back-to-back goalkeeper of the year. He ends up signing with Spokane as the backup, but has been thrust into the starting role, and it's needless to say that this is a huge matchup for him against all of his old teammates. Now, for One Knox, we talk about Spokane's home record being great. They still haven't lost a match on the road this season. They've recorded wins against Westchester, Sarasota, and Naples, and both of the last 2 times they've faced Spokane on the road, they were able to come away with a point. A man who will be key in their efforts is Mikael Guling, a player who got his first goal in the League One season last time out against New York Cosmos. His style is as that box-crashing number 10, a dual winner. And if they can get production from that spot to add to the star strikers of Denis Kruchenkov and Babacar DN, that will help unlock One Knox's offense and take them to the next level as they look to defend their 2025 League One crown. 3rd place versus 4th, perfect at home versus undefeated on the road. We'll be back with a rematch of the 2025 League One final.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Just about set for kickoff between Spokane Velocity And One Knoxville here from One Spokane Stadium on a beautiful day in the inland northwest, 85 degrees and sunny. Now we bring you our starting lineups presented by Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. For the homestanding Velocity, 3 changes for head coach Lee Wiedman as Nico Brett comes in up top, Neil Bignol starts in the 10, and Gagi Margvelashvili into the back line. One Knox on the road just make 1 change from their last match at home against New York Cosmos, a 3-1 win. They take out Babacar Dieng, who was starting up top alongside Kruchenkov. In his place, it is Miko Guling, our man to watch at the number 10 spot, as Teddy Baker stands over kickoff. This is the one they've had circled in Spokane all season long. 7 months to ponder what went wrong in Knoxville last November. Now 90 minutes for them to put it right. Once again, it's Spokane Velocity versus One Knoxville in a rematch of the 2025 League One Final. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Parker Johnson. Happy to be with you for the next 90 minutes as we witness 4th place Spokane Velocity, a perfect 6-0 at home here against One Knoxville, who are still unbeaten on the road this season. A titillating matchup for fans across the country on an exciting night in League One. 3 games already going on. A big matchup kicking off between AC Boise and Omaha in just a few. And this is certainly the headliner. There has been an energy buzzing around Spokane, said head coach Lee Wiedman. The city coming together for a watch party with the U.S. men's national team yesterday, right downtown, just outside the stadium. This has been a rallying point for the soccer fans in the area all year long. The stadium has hosted several professional teams, even had the Sounders in for some games. They're enjoying this summer of soccer as you see the captain for the day, Colin Fernandez, starting the 8th straight match alongside Andre Lewis in midfield. Such a formidable and experienced duo at the heart of everything that Spokane are trying to do. Now it is Andre Lewis on the ball. Simon Fitch coming forward to clear. And going direct to Meji Alexandra for his first touches up against Will Perkins. Went for the outside of the boot pass on the overlapping run from Derek Waldeck. The man who recorded the most touches in Spokane's last match. A 1-0 loss to AV Alta on the road. We already mentioned their great home record, which has come with some road struggles as well. Now it's Linares latching on. The run from Kruchenkov opening up the space. Baker, edge of the area, forces the first save out of Sean Lewis against his former team, forcing a corner kick for the traveling One Knox. It was a pretty speculative shot from Teddy Baker. On his weaker left foot, went for placement over power, but he is their dead ball specialist, despite the fact that he stands 6'3". They still have a bunch of other great targets to aim for, and he serves in a great cross. First corner of the match, swung in, bodies colliding inside the 6-yard box. The shot is blocked at the edge of the box, and Alexandra able to get it back to Fitch as Spokane try to regain their shape. McRobb over the top of Bignol's, winning the header, but it's controlled by Andre Lewis. For Spokane, this the first of 3 straight matches at home, trying to build off that impressive home form, which has kept them afloat in the league standings. 13 goals in their 6 wins at home, only conceding 4 in the process. Their 12 goals allowed in League One is the 2nd best mark Only better is One Knox with 11 goals allowed in their 12 matches. Less than 1 per game with 5 clean sheets to go with. So expect both of these teams to be hard to break down. Across the season, Knoxville average about 4% more possession per game than Spokane. But they tend to play a bit more direct on the road, away from home. Clipped over the top here for Linares. Awkward bounce off the turf. He brings it in. Outside-footed pass on the doorstep for Kurchenkov. I think Lewis got a touch. It rattles off the inside of the post. Creative genius from Kyle Linares. And how often do you see Kurchenkov miss from there? 6 goals to his name in his rookie campaign. The League One Player of the Month in March. His first sniff at goal. That close to opening the scoring for One Knox. The visitors on the front foot. Perkins overlapping. Touch too strong and into the hands of Lewis. Let's take another look at this pretty pass from Linares. And Lewis does get a flapping hand to it. He had no right to make that save. A bittersweet one to watch, I'm sure, for the One Knoxville fans tuned in. Crossing the Eastern time zone, staying up late with us tonight. Their back-to-back goalkeeper of the year, who started in the final against Spokane, pitched a shutout at Covenant Health Park in that 2-0 win last November. Carlos Morancio is still out for Spokane. And now we are going to bring you our keys to the game, presented by Ford. Talking about this matchup, Lee Wiedemann, the Spokane head coach, was keyed in on winning individual battles. He remembers that final last year, and he thinks that losing a couple of individual battles in key moments was one of the main reasons that they lost that match. For Knoxville, trying to be patient with the ball when they do win it back. There are times where they want to go direct, but Ian Fuller mentioned specifically that their offensive strategy is all about creating overloads in midfield. Those take time as they work through their possession. In particular, they want to get Linares coming inside. They want to get John Murphy, who starts tonight on the right, to almost play as extra central midfielders. Then you get the 2 holding mids behind them, and they can have great numbers in possession. So far, we've definitely seen quicker strikes in attack from One Knox, and they've had 2 of the best chances to open this match, met by 2 stellar saves from Sean Lewis. Spokane still growing into things on their home patch. Waldeck's ball forward, read by Skelton, who leads the team in clearances. He boots it up the line and out right in front of John Murphy. Now let's check on tonight's injury report, brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. It's a long list for Spokane. We mentioned Morancio out, and that is why Lewis is in goal. Still missing Jack Denton in midfield and Bryce Meredith. Anwar Pelaez is their leading goal scorer from last season, injured as well. For Knoxville, Raul Gill has been back in training, but not able to make the team here. And Nico Rosamilia, coming off of a long-term injury to start the season, has picked up a couple knocks on his way back to fitness as well. So the man who scored the opening goal in last year's final, beating Derek Waldeck, he is not going to take part in this match, but hopefully seeing him back soon. He got back for 45 minutes in their cup match against Chattanooga. The good news for One Knox in terms of those ailing players is that after this game, they will have 12 days off before their next match against AC Boise, also on the road. A rare bit of respite for a team that has gone deep in the Open Cup this year, giving them 7 cup matches in total to add to the 12 League One contests so far in the year. Crowded calendar through the first few months of the season as they looked to defend their title. Throw in for Will Perkins. Preferred to Jaheim Brown at right back. Brown available off the bench. Kurchenkov fighting for it. Might have caught a loose arm from Gagi. Whistle blown by the referee to check on the One Knox forward. Kurchenkov, a native of Israel who grew up in Wisconsin. First year coming out of college soccer with Davidson and Charlotte, where across his 4 seasons, he was the leading goal scorer for every one of those teams, just as he is this year for One Knox with his 6 goals in the league. Well, almost got 2 hits there, Kurchenkov. It's the final blow from the left arm of Gagi. I don't think it was anything intentional, and you can see the Georgian center back over there offering his apologies. A chance after 10 minutes for the head tactician in charge, Lee Wiedman, to get a word to his players. A little extra hydration as well. It's a hot one in Spokane, 85 degrees under sparkling sunshine. Kurchenkov left some blood on that tissue, so he needs a moment to get back. Sean Lewis has been the hero of the opening stages of this match. 2 saves already, 1 from Kurchenkov at close range. He's having a word with Cameron Miller about how they can avoid some of those situations. In particular, you think about that second chance and the save he made on Kurchenkov, coming on a transition play where they weren't able to track him at the back post. Hard to advise a defender, though, on how you can avoid that situation, given how perfect the pass was from Linares to open up the opportunity. Strong start on the road for One Knoxville. Ian Fuller still waiting for his man to get back to his feet. Smile on his face as he talks to Jamesy Thomas, a member of that double winning team last year who's moved into the assistant coaching staff. Fuller, somewhat of a return to home when he does come up here to face off with Spokane. Grew up in Ellensburg, Washington on a dairy farm. 46-year-old Fuller, who is in his first head coaching job. Pretty good way to start your career with that title. After a decade as an assistant with Minnesota United, he wins the double in the first season. And we got to talk to him a little bit about the struggles of defending a title. He said he came into the season knowing that there would be a target on their backs. They felt it in their home opener when they lost against Madison after going unbeaten at home last year en route to the title. Nice round of applause as Kurchenkov gets back to his feet. Hey fans, scan now and you can win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, the Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, Casa Tap House, Canala, People's Waffle, and the Method Juice Cafe. Play back underway now. 15th minute of action in a rematch of the 2025 USL League One final here on ESPN+. We will keep that in our back pocket as we calculate first half stoppage time. That was about a 4-minute stoppage to take care of Denis Kruchenkov, who has made his way back onto the pitch, and pressures here on Cameron Miller. Scored a pretty crazy goal in their last match, Kruchenkov. He was pressuring the Cosmos goalkeeper and was able to knock it straight in off the clearance. Definitely a collector's item, but you make your own luck, as they say. Ball into the box, set by Nico Brett, trying to connect with Meji Alexandra. First touch of the match for Brett, who did not appear in the 1-0 loss to AV Alta last Saturday. He was a late scratch for that one. And Spokane played with Siobhan John Brown at the striker position. John Brown is back out on the wing to start today. Our keys to the match, we talked about that patience in possession for One Knoxville, and now you see the rotation starting to form. Perkins, Baker around the corner, Gouling getting involved. Wins the battle, sees the pass through for Kruchenkov. Offside anyway, as he blazes it over and checks his nose for any leakage. Yep, looks like they're gonna have to bring the trainers back out again. But it's good build-up from One Knoxville, a step offside. Seems to have jarred something back loose after they tried to patch him up originally. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our Charity of the Month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. Well, it's the last thing that Ian Fuller wants to consider. An early sub to his leading scorer, Kruchenkov. Babacar DN, their other main man up top, is available on the bench. One Knox play on with 10 for now. Can Spokane take advantage after riding out the storm from a few early chances by the visitors? Lewis coming up with the key stops in the opening 10 minutes. Velocity on the ball with Fernandez. Cameron Miller. Fitch. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Johan Garibe. One of the reasons that One Knox was okay with letting Sean Lewis walk, they knew they had a steady replacement in the 26-year-old out of Gonzaga. He's only given up 30 goals in his 36 appearances for One Knoxville in all competitions. Anytime you're under a goal a game, that is a stellar record as a goalkeeper. Part of his success this season has been the fact that the defense in front of him is so sturdy. He's only had to face less than 4 shots per game. Compare that to some of the other top keepers around the league facing 6, 7 shots a game. A little bit easier of a task, but it's all about staying focused, keeping that elite mindset. And he has been good when called upon. A 75% save percentage. Pretty much the same number that Sean Lewis has in the other net. 2 great goalkeeping talents who have both spent a lot of time training together down in Knoxville. Vinyals battling for the header. Brett passes out to John Brown, who's got his man on an island, trying to dribble past Tio. Great defending. Knocks it out for a throw. Chris Tio, the Chinese Taipei international, product of the New York Red Bulls Academy, coming out of Rutgers. Giving them a great option at left back after Stuart Ritchie's departure. Here comes the long throw for Spokane. Looking for Miller. Well defended by Knoxville, but they can't clear it very far. Vinyals. Lewis. He does like a shot from range. It took a touch over the top, so that sets up a corner kick for Spokane. Vinyals considered a shot himself. It's a very slight touch off the defender. This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Waldeck to whip it in with the left. You can see from the movement on the corner flag, there's a little bit of wind in the face of the goalkeeper here. In-swinging ball. Miller trying to get on the end of it again, and he is called for the foul at the near stick. I think that kid in the crowd realizing what we all did in that moment, which is that it was Denis Kruchenkov laying on the floor again. Tough start to the match. He is soldiering on after bloodying his nose, not once but twice. Taking a shot in the back there. A striker like him feeds off goals. Doesn't matter what he feels like as he gives a little back to Miller. If he can find a sniff at the net, that is enough motivation he needs to power through the pain. He got one early on, smacked it off the post with a little help from the left hand of Sean Lewis. And he is itching for another chance. Finely poised game. Already halfway through the first half of action. Although Kruchenkov has spent quite a few of those minutes receiving treatment. As One Knox walk it up, Spokane not engaging just yet. Keeping an eye on some of the other scores around League One. A win for Chattanooga Red Wolves over FC Naples at home. AV Alta going on the road and continuing to put pressure on the top 4 with a win against Greenville Triumph. Fort Wayne also getting a road victory against the Richmond Kickers. Forward Madison in full control, up 3-0 on the Cosmos right now. Corpus Christi with a 2-0 advantage at halftime over Sarasota. And then kicking off in just a couple of minutes, Boise and Union Omaha in our nightcap. Awesome night around League One. Appreciate you being a part of it. We know there's plenty going on, World Cup and all. Maybe you're double screening as you watch Curacao look for a historic result. But this is where the attention is in League One. A rematch that everybody's been waiting for in Spokane. Knoxville trying to take the sting out of things with the experienced Jordan Skelton. Gouling off the chest. Late challenge. Advantage played for Knoxville. Now it's one back by Spokane, playing out at the edge of their own box. Intricate passing. One Knoxville regaining in the attacking half. Linares on the dash. Ball stayed in here as he wiggles around. Knocks it back to Tio. Finn McRobb. Caputo offering the option. And John Murphy tucking in to the right back area. Murphy with 3 goals this season. Tied as the second leading scorer in league play for one Knoxville. Baker through the lines, picking out Murphy. Sustained possession for one Knoxville as Spokane continue in their block. Matching one Knox with a 4-4-2. It's the shape that their match took against AV Alta for long stretches where the hosts controlled the ball against Spokane. Eventually the cross comes in from Perkins. And now our referee, Katya Koroleva, having a word with Siobhan John Brown before this game gets restarted with a throw. Lumber Beer Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Waldeck knocks it ahead. Cut out by Skelton. Garibay won't take any chances. Looks for the long outlet. Gouling couldn't make it stick. And it's one back by Colin Fernandez. Gets it on the turn from Waldeck. Fernandez, the experienced tempo setter. Plays a bit more the holding role so that Lewis can make his runs forward. A whack from John Murphy. Never been shy of a tackle. Waldeck feeling the brunt of it. Just hooking around from the side. It's always going to be a foul from there. Pretty much impossible to take the ball without going through some player. Easy call for Koroleva, our head official. And when you have Neil Bignals over a free kick, doesn't matter where it's at on the field, it will be dangerous. 29th minute of play. Bignals swings it towards the back post. Offside against the home team. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Only one real big chance to speak of through 30 minutes when Kruchenkov hit the post from close range. It's Murphy who goes down, now back on his feet. He was involved in the last confrontation with Waldeck, and tensions are certainly high between these two. Spokane, in 5 all-time meetings, has never beaten One Knox. They've played twice here at One Spokane Stadium. Both matches have ended in a draw. Knoxville with a perfect 3-0 record at home against Spokane Velocity. Knoxville trying to press towards the sideline. They force a loose touch out of Colin Fernandez. Brief moment of miscommunication between center back and goalkeeper, but Lewis launches it clear. First pass comes into the feet of Murphy. Carrying forward, knocking it off Gouling and out to Perkins. Baker. Tio looks for the early cross. Off the chest, no, perhaps the arm of Siobhan John Brown. He is bewildered by the decision. Baker makes his point. And let's go to the evidence. Hard not to call that a handball, but if you're John Brown, understandably doesn't know exactly what else to do. It's almost like they want defenders to play with their hands behind their back, and some defenders have gotten used to that, but wingers like John Brown, maybe not always used to blocking crosses. I think that's a fair decision as a handball, and Baker will relish the opportunity on the 45-degree angle to send in this free kick. Baker whips, headed in! One Knoxville take the lead! Finn McRobb striking off the dead ball. Baker with perfect delivery, and it's 1-0 Knoxville. Two guys nearly could have scored. Skelton and McRobb alone on the edge of the 6-yard box. Lewis not commanding his area. And One Knoxville capitalize on a strong start with Finn McRobb scoring his first goal for the club. He was a One Knox original, played with them in USL League Two back in 2022. While he was still a college player at High Point. Only one player remains from those days. That was Donnie Fernandez, who is on the bench today. James Thomas was also on that team. Ilic, old school One Knox guy. Those roots of the club still present. McRobb is the future. Spokane have some work to do here. 35 minutes in. They've looked off the pace, and they have looked a step below the defending champs. They've got more than enough firepower to turn this thing around. They've got a perfect home record this season. Back in April, we saw them concede first to AV Alta at home and go on to win that match. Brett bearing down. Looks like he went through the back of Skelton. That will be a foul against the Spokane striker. In the 15 minutes leading up to that goal, One Knoxville had 65% of the possession, showing how they have built into this match. Murphy keeps it in play. Perkins up the line. The goal scorer McRobb. And the assist man Baker. Enter the Briggs Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on screen and enter today. Both teams have played 3 matches in the USL Cup. One Knoxville already eliminated pending their last group game. Won't really matter for them. As they enter the box here, Linares getting a touch. Edge of the area, shot comes in! Oh my! 2-0 to One Knox, and that was a beauty! Teddy Baker running rings around Spokane Velocity. They don't get much better than this. Sean Lewis didn't have a chance. A goal and an assist for Teddy Baker. Some things just don't need commentary. All of a sudden, a familiar scoreline. 2-0 was the final result as One Knox lifted the trophy following their Players' Shield in 2025. If you weren't familiar with Teddy Baker's game, now you know. His first goal of the season, he assisted the opener. He was excellent, if a bit under the radar for Texoma last year at his first year in the league. Spokane with some extra urgency now. The fans have not dropped 1 decibel. That's what makes them so great. Lee Viedman has spoken this year about how they have helped get these results at home. The fans have been really cued into game situations. They have embraced soccer so fully. He said he remembers in their first season here at One Spokane Stadium, there were times when they didn't exactly know when to cheer. The enthusiasm was there, but occasionally misplaced, and you can hear it now. They know their team needs a lift. They know what Velocity are capable of. 509 Syndicate roars on as Viñals looks for a pass, harried by Linares. Alexandra. Into the box for Viñals. Brett holding it up. Linares defending inside the top of the D. The left winger giving it all. Chopping inside. Brett defended by McRobb. Now it's Lewis. Waldeck trying to go infield to pick up the ball. And a good sequence from Spokane ends in a disappointing pass from Andre Lewis. Possession back with One Knoxville. Turn to CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, July 1st for USL League One showdown as Spokane Velocity hoping to speed past the formidable Flamingos of Forward Madison at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch all the action on CBS Sports Network July 1st. That's right, if you're catching this game on ESPN, just be aware that one's going to be on CBS Sportsnet, so you can watch Spokane Velocity next time out. Before that, they've got another home match this Wednesday against Westchester. Part of a little 3-game homestand here towards the end of June, beginning of July. Played through for Murphy. One-on-one with Lewis. That would have been a decisive blow. Sean Lewis with his third huge save of the first half. Murphy not able to make the most of the opportunity. One Knoxville have been devastating in the first half. Baker with the corner. Murphy mixing it up with the Spokane defenders as the foul goes against One Knoxville. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Watch out, Ian Fuller. John Murphy nearly taking his own coach's head off. And now it's Fitch. When Spokane have broken into the attacking half with the ball, that pass into the final third has been blockaded every single time by this impeccable One Knoxville back line. Two midfielders shielding in front of them as well. They have just been impenetrable. Looking very much like the team that won the double last season. Spokane not looking like themselves at all. As John Brown was able to, yes, force the corner. Tio didn't think that he touched it. And now there's been a change of decision after some consultation. Katia Koroleva overruling and going with the goal kick. Just nothing breaking Spokane's way right now. Garibay hasn't had a save to make. Only one shot from Spokane, 6 from one Knoxville. 4 of them have been on target. As Kurchenkov clashes with Cameron Miller. Free kick taken quickly by Baker, who spotted the far man, Chris Tio. Now he wants it back. Baker playing with confidence. A goal and an assist to his name already. Caputo back to McRobb as we enter 5 minutes of first half stoppage time, which is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. A lot of that stoppage time goes back to Denis Kurchenkov, who got a bloody nose early on and then had the wound open back up at one point. Spent quite a bit of time on the grounds. He's the one who is able to pressure and earn this attacking half set piece opportunity for the danger man, Baker. The other great sign for one Knoxville is 2 first half tallies. Neither of them came from the strikers. It's been the conversation is how can they get more goals from other places? Set pieces, one way to do that. Baker, back post ball, stabbed at by Gouling. Didn't make the contact he desired as the ball swung from the shadows into the light. But another delicious delivery from Teddy Baker. Reminds me a bit of Declan Rice, a dominant physical midfielder, but has the technique to match it. Usually you see guys with that kind of size standing in the box during set pieces, but when you got that much quality in your right foot, dead ball is the best place to utilize it. And One Knox have no shortage of tall guys to get on the end of it, even with him serving in the crosses. Tack in a few goals from outside the box as well. You got a very complete midfielder. One who can run a game box to box, as Baker has here in the first half. Headed back by Brett. Munoz had run past it. Gagi a little too physical with Kurchenkov, who is always a handful. Good communication from Koroleva speaking with Kurchenkov. Making sure he knows where the line is drawn. Here comes One Knox again. Left side is Tio. Fakes, delivers. Leaping header from John Brown. Will bounce out for a throw. Taken quickly into Baker. Into that right channel. Linares bashing byline off of Gagi for another corner. And that's where you see the threat of Baker start to open up the defense. he was an option for the layoff for Linares as he daggered into the 18-yard box. And with the attention drawn towards Baker for a potential shot at the edge of the area, he's able to turn and burn and earn the corner. Knoxville players stacked up on the goal line. In swinging service. Lewis comes out to greet it. Less than 45 seconds to go in our first half of action. Lewis on the move. Alexandra. Through ball for Brett. Lewis at the angle. Drops it off for Viñals. Strikes at goal. Blocked away by McRobb. Still 20 more seconds for Knoxville to manage. It's out for a Spokane throw-in. Quickly taken. Viñals. He had the best look that Spokane have gotten in the first half. It took until the 50th minute of play. Alexandra going back. And Koroleva draws the first half to a close. A dominant display from One Knox on the road, going into One Spokane Stadium and taking the 2-0 advantage, courtesy of a goal and an assist from that man, Teddy Baker, who is running the show in our rematch of the 2025 USL League One final. A day that the fans in Spokane have been dreaming of, a chance to get another shot at One Knoxville. Not going their way after 45 minutes. We'll have highlights, stats, and a look around League One in our halftime show. Don't go anywhere, folks.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Welcome back to our halftime show. One Knoxville with a 2-0 lead on the road at halftime. Fans scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, Casa Tap House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. And while you're at it, you can scan the QR code to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. Well, the World Cup is on everybody's mind as our summer of soccer rolls on. Let's learn more about how the USL is involved.
Before the World Cup can begin, 48 national teams need a home, and home is a lot more than a practice field.
They wanted a beautiful grass field and in a sort of secure facility with great access to gyms and all the other pieces around.
Dan Rutstein had the honor of handing the keys to Orange County SC's entire facility to the U.S. men's national team. Why does it matter to you to have the U.S. national team at your facility?
Look, if you can't get excited about a World Cup, then we shouldn't be in this business. It's obviously an enormous opportunity. We're happy for them, it's a great facility. We're happy for us, we're happy for our fans, so we can be talked about in the same breath as the home nation in a home World Cup.
Orange County is joined by the Oakland Roots, who will host the Australian national team, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting first-time World Cup team Cape Verde. When clubs spend multiple weeks in one building, the facility must accommodate an entire support system, not just the players. In a large country like the United States, travel can take a toll. Cape Verde's Tampa home sets up short flights to Atlanta, Miami, and Houston for its group matches. Australia will play matches in Vancouver, Seattle, and nearby Santa Clara. The U.S. team's longest journey is Seattle, sandwiched between two group matches in Los Angeles. But as the World Cup takes place, it's business as usual for the USL Championship. For Orange County, a worthwhile temporary adjustment.
We're still training next door. The short-term pain of being not allowed to use our stadium for the medium and long-term gain of working with the US national team, we could never say no to an opportunity like that.
Spokane opens the scoring. Carmichael volleys, it scores! And it's 3-1 forward Madison.
Now and then, you need to stop and smell the roses. Or the leaves, rocks, trees, sticks, and that one tree again.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay gente revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol. Estamos a esperar a Hugo. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Súbete! ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chaper, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Vas al norte!
A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso.
¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
It is halftime in League One. We'll get back out to the second half in just a bit. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with some of the headlines from the week. Charlotte Independence continued its hot streak last weekend with a 4-3 win over FC Naples. That's 7 League One victories in a row, 10 straight unbeaten in all competitions. Golden Boot leader Luis Alvarez has led the charge with 8 goals and 2 assists during that stretch. AV Alta heating up as well with its 1-0 victory over Spokane Velocity. University. The club is now unbeaten in 7 straight League One matches with just 2 goals allowed in its last 6 games. Last week, Sarasota Paradise acquired League One living legend Emiliano Terzaghi, and he contributed immediately with a goal in Sarasota's 2-0 win over Union Omaha. From 2020 to 22, Terzaghi made his name with 3 consecutive League One Player of the Year awards, the Golden Boot in each of those seasons, and a Players' Shield with Richmond Kickers. He now owns 63 regular season goals in his League One career. Upcoming national spotlight games in the championship and League One. Wednesday the 24th, Colorado Springs and San Antonio on ESPN2. July 1st, Spokane and Forward Madison on CBS Sports Network. And the next day, AC Boise and 1 Knoxville on ESPN2. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Up 2-0 and up to second place, just 2 points behind Union Omaha as things stand. We'll be back with second half kick coming up soon.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
Almost ready to go here in Spokane for the start of the second half, but if you joined us a little late, now is your chance to see how things went down in the first half, with 1 Knoxville leading Spokane Velocity 2-0. It is worth Sweet Tooth. Sean Lewis beaten by his former teammate. Or rather, Baker was there with Texoma last year, but Lewis with a tough first half against his old team. In fact, Baker's last goal that he scored in USL League One play was for Texoma last year, and it was against one Knoxville. A very strong first half from the road team, and an interesting response that we have heard here at halftime from Spokane. They've made one substitution, and that is to take off the starting striker, Nico Brett, and they have brought on a center back, Ibrahim Kovi. I imagine that changes the shape for Spokane, so we'll keep an eye on how they adjust here in the second frame, but Lee Wiedemann not wasting any time changing up the tactics. My name is Parker Johnson. So glad that you've joined us on this night full of League One games, World Cup action. But we know you would not miss this one, a rematch of the 2025 League One final, which currently on the scoreboard looks exactly how that one finished. What kind of adjustments does Spokane have up their sleeve? If they go to a 3-back, it'll free up Waldeck. And that is my best guess at what they're going to try to do here. They've got 3 center backs on the pitch in Miller, Gagi, and Ibrahim Kovi, so unless one of them is playing in midfield, I think you got 3 backs for Spokane, and they will try to create from the outside with the wing backs of Waldeck and Simon Fitch. The question that then follows is, having taken off Nico Brett, who plays up top? And the answer that I'm seeing so far is some combination of Meji Alexandra and Siobhan John Brown. Neither of them naturally center forwards, but 2 of the more effective goal scorers this season for Spokane Velocity. They, along with the injured Jack Denton, are the only players who have more than 1 goal in league play this year. John Brown has 3, Alexandra has 2. 7 players tied with 1 goal apiece for Spokane. Only 2 teams in the league have scored fewer goals than Spokane's 15. This is the ICCU Corner Kick, your financial success fan club, to be taken by Binyals. Opportunity for Alexandra to head it, but a push through the back from one of the Spokane players. Whistled by Katya Koroleva. Scan now and you can win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Tap House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. That is our footballer fuel. If you are to diagnose what went wrong for Spokane in that first half, well, we're going to get a yellow card here before we get to that, as Linares was barreled over. I think that's Ibrahim Kovi. We will await confirmation. It is, in fact, Kovi, the Paris native, who has his first action in this game lead to a yellow card. A little bit of contact to the head of Linares. Baker's free kick goes short. Kyle Linares swinging to the back post. There's the header out behind, and it will be a corner. Took a touch last off Waldeck. Going to say just before that one of the problems for Spokane in that first half, not winning their individual battles. Wiedemann picked that out as the key for Spokane, something they have failed to do in the past against one Knoxville. And across the board, it's been true throughout this match. Another one lost there at the back stick to set up this corner. where Baker's deliveries have been nothing short of perfect so far in the match. And right on cue, he can't beat the first man of Waldeck, who arrives to meet him again and out for a one Knox throw. McRobb will retreat. Perkins tossing it in. Nothing there for Murphy as they work up the left side. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Two goals in 4 minutes in the first half, orchestrated by Teddy Baker. Gave one Knox the lead. Kurchenkov looking for more. Played across the face of goal. Linares arriving late, but able to track it down on the weak side. Caputo can't control. You can see the shape developing with those three along the back. Midfielders dropping in to help in the builds. You don't see Vinyals misplace a pass like that terribly often. Fourth official trying to get Fuller to dish the ball off to Chris Teo and get it back in play. Seem to have sped up the throw-in all too much. For one Knoxville, this would really be a statement of intent. So far, they've only played 3 teams with winning records in USL League One play this season. Teo off the throw. Baker chesting at the edge of the box, combining with Gouling. Teo can cross. Drawn back, looking for a teammate at the penalty spot, and won back by one Knoxville. Gouling holds off the challenge. Linares creating. Alexandra can't quite get out. One Knoxville doing enough to break up that counter-attacking move. So one Knoxville have played 3 teams above 500 this season. Spokane will be the 4th. Coming into the match, they only had a 1-win and 2-loss record in those 3 matches. They did beat Charlotte Independence before their impressive win streak began. They also lost this year to Omaha and Forward Madison. Both those losses coming at home. One Knoxville still unbeaten on the road, but this would be one of their best results to this point, alongside that win against Charlotte. A chance for them to solidify their position in 2nd place behind Union Omaha, whose lead has slipped of late after back-to-back losses. They're in a battle with AC Boise. Still scoreless in that one as we speak. You're starting to get a sense of who some of the contenders and who some of the pretenders are in League One in 2026. And this match very much a measuring stick for both these two clubs. Coming off of the final last year, the 2nd straight final for Spokane. Their mission in the offseason was retention. Lee Wiedemann felt that for the most part they had enough in their team. They did add a few extra pieces. Waldeck. Fitch trying to get there on the backside. This is where I have questions about the approach from Spokane as Fitch lofts in another service. You go to the approach with the wingbacks, and you're going to be sending in a lot more crosses, but if John Brown and Alexandro are the guys in the middle, that's what some of them might look like. A foul as one Knoxville tried to go the other way. Gagi is down holding his left leg. Spokane, scan the QR code for your chance to win a free water heater from Raptor Rooter and Plumbing, the proud plumbing partner of your Spokane Velocity. Vinyals on the dribble, able to get past the first man and then loses out. Kruchenkov, counter move. Linares is onside, all alone against Lewis. And one Knoxville taking full advantage. 3 to the good in Spokane. A nightmare on repeat for Velocity. It's a perfectly timed run. They brought in an extra center back at halftime, and all 3 stopped short there. Linares with an excellent finish. He didn't get too close to Lewis and give him a chance. For Linares, his second goal in USL League One this season. And that is a hammer blow to Spokane. Not even at the hour mark. These home fans have not seen a game like this at One Spokane Stadium this season. Velocity were in a perfect 6-0 form heading into this one. 2 shy of the longest home win streak in USL League One history. To say this was unexpected is an understatement, and that is with all due respect to the quality of the defending champions, One Knoxville. Fired behind as Binyals attempted the cross. Spokane trying to show some signs of life on this ICCU corner kick. ICCU, your financial success fan club. Waldeck stands over it. Loops it towards Gagi. And his header just outside that top corner. Scan now for your latest ticket deals for Spokane Velocity FC, as they have 3 straight home matches, including this one. After this, it'll be back-to-back in the midweek. Wednesday and Wednesday, first against Westchester on the 24th, and then July 1st with that CBS Sports Network game against Forward Madison and the mighty Flamingos, who picked up another win today against New York Cosmos. 3-1 score in that one. Madison have started pretty strong here in 2026. One hour in, and Knoxville with a 3-goal advantage on Spokane Velocity here at One Spokane Stadium. Waldeck finds Vinyals in a pocket of space. A couple forwards ahead of him. Vinyals dribbling, cutting through, stabbed away by Skelton. And that brings up another ICCU corner kick. Taken quickly by Spokane. Waldeck touches, delivers. Fitch couldn't get there. John Brown forcing the save out of Garibay. Long ball seeking out Kruchenkov with a pillowy first touch. He draws the foul. He's rolled onto by Colin Fernandez. And a yellow card for Cam Miller. Two of the 3 Spokane center backs now on yellow cards. Covey and Miller. Free kick hooked towards Kruchenkov. We already examined how hard it would have been to imagine a 3-0 scoreline for Knoxville here. I'd take that one step further by suggesting it'd be pretty hard to believe they'd be up 3-0 without a goal from Kruchenkov, nor Babacar Dieng, who is still on the bench. Goals from McRobb, Baker, and Linares. Covey. Simon Fitch trying to curl one forward to Colin Fernandez, of all people, streaking into the right half space, getting the ball from Vinyals. Covey bypasses Gagi to go back to Sean Lewis. A disappointing day for him up against his old team, but very little that he could have done about any of the 3 goals. Perhaps could have been a bit more aggressive off his line on that first set piece delivery that was met by McRobb, but I would give more credit to the delivery of Baker for that than anything. And in fact, if not for Lewis, the score could have gotten uglier faster as he made a couple saves in the opening stages of the match. Covey touching into space. He serves across, beaten away by Tio. Vinyals brings Fitch into the play. 5 men in the box for Spokane. Fitch's service too close to Garibay. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Lewis breaking into space. Has Fitch ahead of him. Contact at the edge of the box. It is a free kick just outside the area. That was inches from being a penalty kick. And while this will be a good opportunity for Spokane, this is how close it was to being a penalty kick. That is a spot-on decision from Katya Koroleva, who was not far away and saw the contact took place just about a foot outside the box. Viñals would prefer the free kick from 3 feet outside the box, maybe 4. A veteran of League One, Viñals. He scored a free kick against Las Vegas Lights. That was the game-winning goal here last month. The near post is open. He went for the far post, headed down by McRobb. Waldeck carries forward, crosses with his right. Gagi threw a leg at it. These will be your 2 most dynamic attackers off the bench. Lee Wiedman turns to Joe Gallardo and Luis Heel. 2 former Union Omaha men who have dealt a lot of damage in USL League One over the years. Gagi flicks it on from the long throw and over the top for a goal kick. They replace Simon Fitch and Andre Lewis, so might have another rejig of the tactics board. No real striker option off the bench, so they're still operating with John Brown and Alexandra up there, it looks like. But some more options with Heel playing alongside Viñals. And Gallardo very dynamic on the ball. Waldeck. This is the shape they went to when they were down a goal against AV Alta, opting for wingbacks. And Waldeck was extremely effective at getting the ball and sending in crosses, making inroads up the left. He led Spokane in touches in that match, but they ultimately did not find an equalizer. That was also a game that they played without a striker, not having the option of Nico Brett, who in this match was substituted at halftime. Waldeck crosses with the right. Too far for Gallardo. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Now the change comes for Knoxville. Ian Fuller brings on Babacar Dien. 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. He replaces Denis Kruchenkov, who leaves with 1 assist, which came on the 3rd goal for Linares. Kruchenkov has his 2-match scoring streak snapped across all competitions, but a strong shift after getting that bloody nose at the beginning. He can ice up, and he'll get a nice 12-day rest before Knoxville are back in action again on the road against AC Boise on July 2nd. Yellow card, meanwhile, to Perkins for delaying the restart. Alexandra trying to turn around the outside, nothing there for him, stonewalled by the Knoxville right back. Miller, searching ball. Caputo plays it out. Linares running the break. Grueling tried to wait for it to arrive. Nice step from Covey. Chenkov and DN give you a little bit different options. I was talking to Ian Fuller this week about his choices and who to start up top and when to pair them together. He said that DN is more of a constant runner. He will go up and down, and it's the volume of runs that wears down defenses. Kurchenkov more precise in his movements, very efficient with his touches. Both of them fire off a lot of shots. They are both a handful to deal with as DN starts left, swerves his run to the right. It's given away. Here comes Spokane. Gallardo with a strike from deep. They have to start somewhere if they are to claw something back from this match. It's a Gallardo shot from about 22 yards, well wide of goal, but it's something for Spokane. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM 157 and the SiriusXM app. Soccer tennis in the center circle. Eventually drops down to Gallardo. Wiedemann marking commands from his technical area. So much excitement in the build-up to this match. It was one they'd been looking forward to. Alexandra escaping into the box. Bignol's blocked. McRobb got in the way, and just in time. Looked like that might have broken free. A little bit of pressure building for Spokane. Another cross from Waldeck. Can't find a black and blue shirt. Great control from DN. Gouling has broken free. Mikael Gouling! A phenomenal four spot. One Knoxville demolishing Spokane velocity. Taken apart in every way. Again, it's a transition goal working against the ball. Gouling has scored for 2 straight matches. No mistake on the finish. And an extra look at Sean Lewis, his former teammate, who has shipped 4 goals against one Knoxville, matching his total goals allowed through his first 4 starts this season in Spokane. everything going the way of the defending champs. And they are hungry for more. Foul against Velocity. '75th minute change for One Knox. Sees Jaheim Brown enter the match. He replaces Will Perkins, like for like swap over at right back. Baker flips it inside. Murphy. Heel. Spokane playing for pride now as much as anything. Gallardo couldn't connect with John Brown. Will be a goal kick. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Looking at the results this year for Spokane, they have faced this same scoreline twice in all competitions. Once against Sacramento Republic in the USL Cup. That was on the road against one of the best teams in the championship, one division higher, so not so much shame in that result. As One Knox break forward again. And even in that match, they put up more of a fight, I would suggest, than they did so far through 77 minutes against One Knoxville. DN. High and not so handsome. The other 4-0 that they've seen this year was on the road against Charlotte Independence, which at the time came as quite the shock. And then if you look at Charlotte's form as of late, it looks a little more defensible. Finn McRobb with a yellow card away from the play. Not sure exactly what happened there. He was the one who started this whole party off, McRobb. Scored the opening goal in the 33rd minute. Followed 4 minutes later by Baker, then Linares, and Gouling here in the second half. Quite kept in play by Chris Teo. So this will be an ICCU corner kick, your Financial Success Fan Club. All-time leader in League One assists, Neil Vinyals. Whips it in. Heel pokes it just wide of the frame. Doesn't seem like anything Spokane has tried has come off in this match. It's a spontaneous finish from the 32-year-old veteran. Some 400 professional appearances, 44 goals across his illustrious career. John Brown, chest down to heel. to get it back. One Knoxville shut off the attack yet again. Baker nearly found the over-the-top ball for DN. Now it's back at Knoxville. Spokane fans still not silenced. Ten minutes to try to find a goal. Gallardo goes again. Near post flick. Almost spelled danger for Garibay in net. Eventually able to see it wide for a corner. ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. All that curls. Covey the intended target. Alexandra. Gooling holds up the play as Baker plays it forward to DN. Waiting for a run to arrive. It's Gooling. He slipped on his way through. Spokane spared as Knoxville are preparing to make a triple change at the next dead ball. Amazing run from Binyals. Leaves it off for Heel. Skelton sends it behind for a corner. Knoxville will wait to make the changes. Not trying to shake up anything on this set piece. Heel goes back post. Gooling in a mismatch with John Brown and wins it decisively. Waldeck, knotted down by Gagi. Throw in for Spokane, and now we'll see those 3 subs for one Knoxville. See Danny Fernandez, Stavros Sarakostas, and Eli Conway, the 3 who will come in. John Murphy and Teddy Baker among those 2 depart. Along with Kyle Linares. Fernandez with a decent hit that. Garibay at full stretch. And it draws a nice round of applause from the home fans. Here's another look. Coming off the long throw, Fernandez doesn't let it drop. Made pretty good contact there, the midfielder. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live moments and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports, Golazo Network, and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Alexandre's ball. John Brown onto his right. Hooks it over towards Gallardo. One touch. Back towards Siobhan John Brown. Misconnection in the end from Spokane, who have looked rudderless without a man up front. John Brown had a decent spell back in April when he came in as the striker when they didn't have Brett and Pelaez. But since then, the goals have dried up a bit for SJB. It's not his natural position. He does offer some threat there running in behind, but he doesn't have a lot of help around him. He's easier for defenses to key in on. Feels like Spokane have been funneled out wide, and then every time they try to get the ball to the middle, John Brown and Alexandre in the second half joining him have been muscled out by those One Knox defenders, who are certainly among the best in the league, if not the very best. They were last year, and it led them to that epic double, the Players' Shield and the USL title. Just as important was their form at home, going unbeaten on their way to the championship. And so far this year, it's been their away games that they're unbeaten so far. And looks like they will keep that record after this match, eyeing their 4th away victory in 6 matches, 2 draws. Good touch from Fernandez. Waldeck on his right. Vignal's dribbling through. Sweet feet, but nothing to show for it. It's just been the story far too often for Spokane, who have struggled for goals. When you take into account the scores from today's action in USL League One, there's only 2 teams in the entire league who have scored fewer goals than Spokane's 15 on the season. Those 2 are 15th placed Richmond Kickers and 16th placed Greenville Triumph, who have scored 11 apiece. That is something that will have to change for Spokane, whether it is at home or on the road. They are set to drop to 7th in the standings as things stand. ICCU corner kick taken by Derek Waldeck, who has hoisted in numerous crosses. Hasn't found a lot of foreheads. Another chance for One Knox to break. Conway going through. He's got Covey to beat. Slipped and lost his footing. Spokane have had to chase the game in the second half. They've gone to 3 defenders, 2 forwards, trying to make something shake. And they did give up those 2 goals in transition as they pushed on for more. But the first half was pretty decisive. That's going to be a handball against Neil Vignals as we enter 3 minutes of second half stoppage time. And this half stoppage is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. Flip side for One Knox, what a statement. They've had 3 multi-goal wins this season, none of them as large as the current 4-goal margin here against Spokane. They had a 3-0 win against FC Naples, 2-0 against Greenville Triumph, and 3-1 against the Cosmos. This would be the loudest of the bunch, and will certainly get a lot of people's attention. Out for another ICCU corner as we tick into the final 2 minutes. ICCU, your financial success fan club. Headed out by Fernandez. Zaracostas on the move against Luis Heel. Brown looking over the top. DN offside. One Knoxville caught everybody's attention earlier on in the season with their Open Cup run, coming off of the championship last year. Then there was an understandable lag in form as the fixtures piled up. And they had to bring some players in and out of the lineup. But look like they may be hitting their stride now. This would be their 3rd straight win in league play, just as Union Omaha have started to wobble a little bit at the top of the table. There have been opportunities for Spokane over the last few matches to solidify their own place in the top 4, but falling against AV Alta, falling now against One Knoxville. All of a sudden, they're looking up at 6 teams above them in the pile. Gallardo stabs out, one last look. Waldeck's header will trickle out. And there goes the final whistle. A stunner in Spokane. The defending champions, One Knoxville, making sure everybody knows that their result in the 2020-2025 final was no mistake. They beat Spokane Velocity on the road 4-0 with goals from Finn McRobb, Teddy Baker in the first half. And in the second frame, Kyle Linares and Mikael Guling added to the damage. A comprehensive victory here at One Spokane Stadium. And now we take you to our play of the match, brought to you by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. It was Sean Lewis early on in the match who helped limit the damage. Teddy Baker, we saw what he could do later in the game. He was able to score from almost the exact same spot into the top corner. This time, Sean Lewis didn't let it happen, but a day to forget for Lewis against the team where he made his name in USL League One. That's going to be all for us for now. We'll come back with full-time highlights and a wrap-up after this huge result in Spokane.
De vez en cuando, todos queremos soltarnos. Solo necesitamos un poco de ayuda. Conozca Un Poco de Ayuda. El Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition 2024. Pasa por cualquier terreno para que puedas darlo todo. Obtén una gran oferta en una Bronco Sport hoy mismo. Arrienda una Bronco Sport Wild Edition por $339 al mes por 36 meses o cómpralo con 3.9 por 36 y obtén $2,000 de bono Wild.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
4-0, your final score at One Spokane Stadium. Ian Fuller's One Knoxville coming out with a huge 3 points and a +4 on the board. Let's take you through our full-time highlights as Teddy Baker was the star man in this one. It starts off with his free kick whipped in devilishly for Finn McRobb to head it home. And if you weren't familiar with Teddy Baker before this match, I have a feeling this is the one that's going to grab a lot of people's attention around League One and perhaps even beyond. What a hit from the edge of the box. He was feeling himself after that first free kick, and he picked out the top corner with no mistake. A top performance from a top player, but One Knox were not done yet. In the second half, Spokane pushing for more. They went to a 3-back. All three of them stood still, and that left space for Linares to stride through. Sets up the goalkeeper just how he wanted him. Plenty of time to pick out his finish into the bottom left corner. Beautiful stuff from the young Knoxville forward. And then in the 74th minute, it looked very similar as Gouling went through the back line. This time he goes near post and high. Lewis beaten for a 4th time against his old club, and Gouling scoring for his 2nd straight match. The stats pretty much sum up what we saw. One Knoxville dominant on the scoreboard because of their efficiency in their shots. Spokane Velocity with a lot more of the ball as they chased the game in the second half, and One Knoxville let them have it. They had a lot of corners, a lot of free kicks, even got into the double digits of shots, but really just couldn't put together a good opportunity. And the lack of a striker, a glaring problem on the day for Spokane against the best defense in USL League One, which earns its 6th shutout of the season. One Knox in title-winning form yet again. They follow up their 2025 title-winning triumph over Spokane Velocity with a resounding 4-0 victory. They move up to 2nd place in the standings, and we wish you goodbye from Spokane, Washington. My name is Parker, signing off for USL League One on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.